Hey guys, happy Saturday. I wanted to jump on and talk to you really quickly about something that I shared in the Take the Leap event, and I think it's worth sharing here as well. I really want to equip you with this information. So, this is the beginning of the year. I know that a lot of you ladies are looking to level up. We would have made New Year's resolutions. We will be looking at goals, checking out that vision board for what it is that we want to accomplish for 2024, right? What do we want our 2024 to look like? And in doing that, there's a level of frustration that can come. I believe it's by sometime in mid January, there's a day that's actually called Quitter's Day. And it's the day when people are most likely to quit on their New Year's resolutions. Can you imagine that? That there's actually data to support that by the middle of January, basically by the middle, or let's say that third week in January, most people have quit on their goals. And I'm going to find the information, I'm going to put it in the description box so you can see what I'm talking about. And I believe that's not because people don't have a vision, but it's because they don't have a strategy, right? There has to be strategy and there has to be order because it's fun to go to the vision board party and use all the pretty stickers and cut out the magazine pictures and say, oh, yes, this is going to be my life. I'm going to have the most amazing year ahead of me. And you post that on a wall or you stick it in a corner, but there's no action plan behind it. And there absolutely has to be some kind of action plan. It has to be some kind of order, some kind of strategy in order to have lasting change, in order to have actual transformation in your life. Wishing and hoping and sticking pictures on a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard. I don't care how pretty it is. I don't care how nice it looks on your wall. I don't care how good it made you feel doing it. If at the end of the day you don't have a strategy, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because there's work that you have to put in order to make your vision a reality. Let's face it, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take work. It's going to take participation on your part. And that's why I approach vision boards so differently when I talk about the vision sequence and I walk people through the vision sequence. What we do is we do the work before we create the vision board. And I think that's the mistake that a lot of women make because we are professional dreamers. We are professional dreamers. We daydream about our weddings, about our dream home, about our dream job, all these different types of things, right? But do we actually sit down and plan and implement a strategy? So today, I want to give you a strategy that is going to help you create more ease as you move into 2024. And I know 2 months have already gone, and I know that some of you are already feeling defeated because you haven't lost the weight and your finances still look a little crazy and your relationship may not be going the way that you want it to go. But trust and believe there is a way to help. In the description of this video, you're going to find a link for a document, and it is a complimentary document. So where you see the caption that says, click here for your complimentary download, go ahead and download that document. That's going to do two things. It's going to provide you with the document, and it's going to put you on my email list so that you will get more encouragement and insight from me. Right? And one of the things that I like to share with people offline is the insights that come up that you can actually implement. You can pick your journal up and just sit with some of the questions, ponder some of those questions, and you're able now to do the work yourself and in your own time and in your own space and in your own head, because not everyone is ready to talk through what they're going through, right? And I respect that. And I want you to be able to prepare yourself so that you're able to show up like you need to show up. Um, Forgive me, my husband is messaging me, so I just need to let him know that I'm live. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Yes. So these are the three E's that are going to help you live your life with ease. And the first one is evaluate. So why I mentioned the document is that this document is exactly what you are going to use to evaluate your life, to evaluate where you are currently, where you are in your journey, where you are in your state of satisfaction with where your life is going, right? When you do this, this now empowers you with the information that you need to go to the next step, right? But there is no, I always like to say that there is no elevation without evaluation. So the glow up that you're looking for, the level up that you're looking for, it actually starts with evaluation. Because if you're glowing up and if you're leveling up and glowing up from a certain state, from a certain place, determining where that place is and determining what that state is going to inform the next step, which is evolution, right? So, first we evaluate. There are 12 different, um, I don't know, what do I call them? 12 different elements, let's say 12 different elements, 12 different facets of your life, right? And there are different focuses that you need to have on these different facets. You can't look at them all at once. You look at them as a whole, but you can't look at them all at once. And very often, what we do is we focus on the facet that we feel the most frustration with. No, that's a lot of F's, but we focus on the facet that we feel the most frustration with. And then it makes us believe that the entire thing looks that way. So, why I created this document is that I want you to see that every part of your life is not as bad as you think it is. And conversely, every part of your life is not as amazing as you think it is, because sometimes we focus on the things that are great and we ignore the things that need work. And those things then creep up on us and we end up in problems. So, having something like this in your arsenal now provides you with the information that you need so that you can look at your life. It's going to help you coach yourself so that you can look at your life in a holistic way, right? So these are things like spirituality and finances and marriage and relationships and your environment, your neighborhood, your career, all these different things are different aspects of a woman's life that she's going to have to take a look at and evaluate. So then once you evaluate those things, since there are 12 categories, what I love to tell women is to take one category per month. So this month, what's your focus going to be? Once you've completed the sheet, you can now see what's the area where I'm most satisfied? What area can I celebrate in? And then also, what area needs work? What area do I really need to hone in on so that by next month, I'm in a better place? By the end of this month, I'm in a better place. And then I can use that as the foundation to move on and start focusing on something else. Remember that as women, we shift seasons. And when you shift seasons, you have to shift your focus. So, what you might have been focusing on in the past and you've gotten used to focusing on may not be the area that you need to focus on in the present, right? And what you focused on in the present is going to change the trajectory of your future so that by the time you get to the next step, you're going to have a different focus, right? For me, last month in February, my main focus was my faith. That was an area that I really, really needed to lay a good foundation on for the rest of this year. Because where I feel called, it's going to require me to have a level of spiritual strength that I've never had before. And if I don't take the time to evaluate where I am and evaluate what I need, I wouldn't have been able to make that call. I wouldn't have been able to make that decision, which would have rendered me incapable of leveling up. The evolution cannot happen if you don't at first see where you are, see who you are, and see what you need, right? So these things that you would complete now would inform your process going forward. So what is that evolution going to look like for you? Only you can answer that question. But you can't answer that question without evaluation. Absolutely has to be some measure of evaluation that's going to take place in order for the development and the growth that you need. And why do you need the development and the growth? Because when you are at the point of evaluation, you are in your comfort zone. You are in your comfort zone, but you've recognized that that comfort zone is no longer as comfortable as it used to feel. And you want to step out of your comfort zone, but you don't know how. Here's the thing. The problem with stepping out of your comfort zone is that you can always step back in. And then you find yourself waffling. You find yourself on the fence. You find yourself taking 2 steps forward and taking 3 steps back. That's because you've stepped out of your comfort zone. And it's as simple as on the river, on the bank. Have you ever played that game? We used to play that game in the Caribbean. And it's just a matter of jumping from one place to another. And for many of us, as it pertains to our dreams and our goals and our desires, especially as women, because we're pulled in so many different directions by the needs of others and wanting to show up for other people, we find ourselves going on the river, on the bank, on the river, on the bank, and we don't know where we are. We don't know who we are, and we don't know where we are. Why we need to evolve is because what has to happen is that you have to grow out of your comfort zone. You can't just step outside of your comfort zone. You have to grow outside of your comfort zone so that when the temptation comes to step back, when the temptation comes to just fall back into the way things used to be, when you want to throw in the towel, you absolutely can't. Because trying to get back into that place where you were when you were in your comfort zone is impossible because you no longer fit. It's like gaining weight and actually not being able to put those jeans on because they're too tight. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to become a bigger woman, basically. You become bigger on the inside. Because this is a mental thing, this is a spiritual thing, this is an emotional thing. This is the growth that it takes in order for that elevation to happen, right? So we do our evaluation. We go through the process of evolution, and it's a process. So that's why when I coach, it's not a one and done deal. We're going to do a good 3 months. Even when I have one session with people, I always have a follow up because it's a process. You might think, oh, yeah, this is all I need. Oh, this call was great. And let me move on. And then you realize now that you're implementing, you need guidance along the way. You need someone to support you and mentor you, someone to bounce ideas off, someone to help you process your thoughts and emotions, someone who has been where you're trying to go. And you might be able to find that in your own life. Every woman should have some type of mentorship, whether that's mentorship with women who are on her level and taking the journey with her, or that's mentorship from older women or women who are more experienced in an area where she's trying to gain knowledge and understanding and what's the word that I'm looking for? She's trying to become proficient in a certain area. So if you know a woman who cooks really well, this is a really simple example. You know a woman who cooks really well, you're going to call her. Your friend who cooks amazing food, you're going to call her and you say, "Hey girl, what do you put in your potato salad? How do you make the chicken taste so good?" It's the same thing with life, right? We need to have women in our lives who are going to support and encourage us. But if you never evaluate, you're not going to know who you need in your life. You're not going to know who you need on your team in that season. And you might find yourself surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Not the wrong people because they're bad people, but the wrong people because they don't fit that season. And then you find yourself getting upset with the people in your life because they can't help you, but they're not for that season. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we evaluate, then we evolve, and that's when the elevation happens. And your elevation is not something you can schedule, right? You can put a timeline on your efforts. You can put a timeline, a deadline rather, on your goal. You can absolutely do that. But the elevation happens inside of you before it happens outside of you. And when I say elevation, it's not just, let's say, a job promotion or getting married or losing weight or whatever it is that your goal is. The goal is the elevation, but the elevation takes place incrementally. It takes place first with the decision that you want better. That alone is elevation, because you were at a point at one time when you were quite satisfied with the status quo. It didn't bother you, but after a while, it started to bother you. It started to nag you, right? The extra pound started to nag you. The condition of your relationship started to nag you. The lack of finances started to nag you, feeling like your money is just slipping through your fingers because you have no plan, because you have no budget. This started to nag you, right? And then you decide, you know what? I cannot do this anymore. I need to do better. That decision, that realization, that aha moment, every aha moment is elevation. And I think so many women don't see that. They only see the frustration of the moment. But the frustration is elevation, because the frustration is telling you that you believe that you were created for more, that you believe that you deserve more. That's what the frustration is actually telling you. So lean into it for information, but don't lean into it to pull yourself down. What is this frustration telling me? What is this problem telling me? And what is it telling me I need to do? Because very often we pretend that we don't know what we need to do. Oh, I don't know. I want to lose weight, but I'm really not sure what I should do. You're sitting on the couch, eating chips every single night, eating an entire chocolate bar. You won't get up and exercise, and you're trying to lose weight. And you're telling me that you don't know what to do. You know what to do. The reason that you can't do it is because you have not been able to go through the mindset shift that you need to go through in order to create the lifestyle that you need to create for that elevation to happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I tell you that the vision board alone is not it, you absolutely have to do the work. And I know I'm talking about creating ease and it sounds like it's so much work, but in order to have ease in your life, you need to set up a structure, you need to set up a foundation, right? In order to live comfortably in a house, you have to build the house first. And this is what we're doing. We're building our house. We're setting the foundation for that vision, that beautiful vision that we've painted on that piece of paper with all the stickers and all the magazine cutouts and those inspiring words and all those things. We've created now a foundation for that to actually exist in our lives. All right. So if you need to replay this, because I know I said a lot, if you need to replay this, go ahead and do so. Take your journal, jot down some of the things that I said, answer some of the questions that I asked. Ask yourself some of those questions, sit with some of those questions, download the sheet, and start on your journey to living your life with ease. And that starts with evaluation. It continues with evolution, and then it ends with your elevation. And guess what? It starts all over again. I encourage you to do this multiple times throughout the year. For me, it will be 4 times a year. So seasonally, this is something that I would do. Evaluation, a big evaluation, and then from there, I will refine my vision for the next 3 months. So every 3 months, I'll be going through this process. This is something I do personally. And I'm going to give you another tip. At the end of each month, I have victories listed. So I have a planning system. It's inside my planner. You guys would have seen my planner in other videos. So I'm trying to go to one where I don't have too much of my business. Okay, so let's go all the way down to December because I pretty much put a lot in here. So this is what it looks like. This is your monthly vision. So in this monthly vision, I would put important dates, appointments, things like that up here. And then down here, I'm going to list my goals, right? And on the back of this, now I've decorated it a little bit. But on the back of this, I hope you can see it. Right. On the back of this, it says victories, right? And this is a part of every single monthly page in my planner so that at the end of every single month, I can look back and I can see this is what I accomplished this month. Right? And I can look back and I can celebrate because so often we are stuck in the problems. And I don't wait until the end of the month to jot these things down. I jot them down as they happen. So if there's a great week that I had where something amazing happens, I had a breakthrough, I enrolled a new client, I went a whole week of working out without missing any of the days, things like that, I jot down because that now builds my confidence so that the next month I'm able to show up better. I also go back and look at the previous month and see, is there anything that I planned to do that I did not accomplish? And do I still think that this is an important thing for me to pursue? Because sometimes we want to pursue things, but in the grand scheme of things, they actually don't matter. Or our season changes. And because the season changes, this activity or this goal is no longer required. It's no longer relevant. And you have to know this through evaluation. The more you get in the habit of doing this, the more natural it's going to seem. And the more easily it's going to flow. And you're going to find yourself floating through life with greater confidence, greater boldness, and greater wisdom. Thank you so much for staying the course with me today. And if you reach the end of this video, I want you to comment ease, EASE, in the comments below. If you have any questions, my email, and you want to contact me privately, my email is in the description below. All the resources and the different ways I can help you, as well as the sheet that I mentioned, that's also in the description below. Thank you again for joining me. I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.